Hey guys, it's Malonb or Malon from Facebook or malonb.etsy.com, and I'm finally making this video. If you guys have seen my last one, then you know I was going to have a video up regarding my life updates. Unfortunately, that was a continuation of the video you saw last, but that got erased, or I erased it, I guess, from my tablet before I had a chance to upload to my computer, or something happened where I don't have it anymore, so I have to make another one. And so I'm making this one. The same thing happened with the video I made for the mail time stuff. I do have a lot of, well, not a lot, but some mail time stuff I got within the last few months, which that sounds like a long time because it's been a while since I've actually made videos for you guys that I would want to show you. I don't know if I'll have a chance to make it right after this or not, but otherwise I'll try to find a time to make one for you guys just to show you what I have. So this video will be about my life update stuff. Again, thank you guys for still watching me. Again, since it's been a while since I've been making videos. If you don't want to hear this, it's just okay. My next one, if it's not the mail time stuff, I will try to make a yarny video, but to be honest, I've barely touched yarn. I have been trying, but if I do so, it's maybe, you know, like a row here and there, every few weeks or so. So it's barely like snail pace going with yarn stuff. So honestly, I don't know when I would have anything to show you guys, and if I do have anything, it would be maybe like one thing. So I have to think about if I want to make a video just for that or not. Of course, with a new baby, I haven't been shopping for any yarn, really looking, well, honestly, I have been looking at some yarn. I have been browsing online. I have been on Instagram a lot, I have been posting or going, what is the right word? I have been posting posts on Instagram, entering a lot of giveaways, hoping I win some yarn since I'm not buying any at the moment. I have won a couple of things which are pretty awesome, which I wanted to show you guys again in my mail time video thing. But, oh yeah, and via Instagram, I have been stalking shops that I've seen there. So I have been looking at yarn online, but I have not actually bought any. Just because there's no time for me to actually work on them right now, or even if I did get them, and also the financial side of it's not really there right now either, so I'm just been enjoying from a distance. So let me just jump into the whole life thing. I have no idea when was the last time I actually talked about my baby or my life stuff, where I left off from that. I'm pretty sure it was before he was born, but you guys are aware that I had a baby somewhat recently, and he was born on April 7th. He was actually born a little early because he was induced due to, couldn't think of the word, preeclampsia. My pregnancy was actually pretty good, I would say. I didn't really have many symptoms at all. I had some insomnia sometimes where I would wake up, 2 or 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I would go to the restroom and I just couldn't go back to sleep. So insomnia was definitely one. The restroom was also another one, definitely. I would wake up, from during the nighttime or even during the day. I would go multiple times, like in an hour, for example. Sometimes like every 10-15 minutes, which was pretty annoying. And also, the bigger I got, the more hard it was for me to get comfortable. But that's pretty much it. So everything else was, pretty good. I didn't get swollen feet, didn't get nausea, didn't get even stretch marks. Didn't get. I don't think I got that big or anything. I actually didn't even put any weight. Well, actually, I did put on some weight, but I put on 2 pounds. If you guys can believe that. I put on 2 pounds. For most of my pregnancy, I actually lost weight. The last trimester was when I started gaining weight, like, pound by pound. And by the end of it, I gained 2 pounds from my weight that I started off with. So that was pretty amazing to me. I never expected that to happen. But I guess thinking about it, it may have been due to the preeclampsia. I'm not really sure. And when I had him, I lost 15 pounds. So I mean, that, like, the weight thing was pretty awesome. But the fact that obviously I had preeclampsia was not. And if you guys are not familiar with what that is, from what I remember, because when it was happening, when it was all happening, I looked up, everything. But right now, like 3 months out, I don't really recall exactly what the definitions are. So I'm just telling you guys what I remember. If you want to look it up, please do so. I don't have all the information right now. But I believe it has to do with the, with the placenta, and having to, I guess, give the baby what it needs, all the nutrients that it needs. I think it could interfere with that, and it sometimes causes your baby not to grow as it should because you're not getting enough nutrients, or what nutrients you should be getting, etc. So anyway, my pregnancy was pretty good. Like I said, fortunately, I don't think it affected him all that much because nobody caught it until about the last month or so of my pregnancy. So up until then, he was growing as he should, etc. Everything was pretty good. I guess maybe it was affecting me as opposed to him. I'm not really sure about that, but since I lost weight instead or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, that is how my story goes. I was diagnosed with preeclampsia, so I had him a little bit early. He was a little smaller than I guess we were expecting. He was 6 pounds and a few ounces. He was born in the morning on the 7th. He is pretty beautiful. He has a full set of hair. He was born with that. He still has it. And when he was born, they also told me he had jaundice, which, again, I don't have all the specifics as far as definitions go, but I think that has to deal with something about the liver and how it processes some cells or something like that. And there was a lot of factors that went into him not being able to breastfeed directly, from the beginning, which that in itself, it's a whole new thing. But all I will say about it is that he's not, or I'm not breastfeeding, or he's not breastfeeding. What I am doing is pumping, which, if you don't know what pumping is, exactly what it sounds like. It's basically a pump. You attach to your boobs. It takes the milk out, so then you can put it in a bottle or whatnot and feed it to your baby. So unfortunately, breastfeeding didn't work for us. So we're pumping at the moment. And again, unfortunately, I'm not making enough supply. I don't have enough supply for him for however much he's eating at the moment. So I still do have to give some formula as well, which is, it's totally fine. But the whole pumping thing just adds a whole new dimension, or a whole new thing to add on top of the regular baby stuff, if you know what I mean. Because pumping, it's really just a whole new thing to add to whatever you already have to deal with, which is not ideal, but that's how it happens. So I have to deal with it. But at the moment, I've actually been cutting back a little bit. My schedule's a little more flexible with the pumping, which makes it a little easier for me. I was also very fortunate that my mom has come to stay with me for a while to help me. She came for the first 3 months or so, and she's still gonna stay with me for a little while. Not really sure how long, but she's been a major help. Since he was born, it's just been really hectic. I guess my life have just been really hectic. I guess like anybody's life would be, being a first-time mom and everything. Trying to grasp the whole concept of, dealing with a baby and what to do and how to do it and everything like that. So she's just been a lot of help. She has been taking turns with me, especially during the first and second months. She would watch him for a few hours. I would be able to take a nap here and there, which was very, very nice to be able to do. The same thing with my husband. He's been trying to help out as much as he can. you know, trying to be good at, you know, watching the baby, you know, whenever he has to be on his own kind of thing. So he's also been doing pretty good. Oh, I cut my hair. And this was before he was born. I cut it a couple of days before I was induced. Um, just because from what I read and what they told me, and it's totally true, at least for me, that whenever you're pregnant, you lose less hair, but whenever the baby's born, you actually lose all the hair that you have not lost during all those months. Which for me, it happens, I would say, when you know, the second month started and it's still going on. I have been losing a lot of hair, so I was like, you guys remember how my hair used to be? If you guys have seen my maybe one or two videos back, I had long hair, and I was like, you know, if I'm gonna be losing all of it, it's gonna be such a mess. So let me, you know, chop it off, and I did. And actually, I was just thinking about, because it's still falling out, so I was actually thinking about, and this is a bit crazy, but I was wondering if I would be able to deal with shaving my head, honestly. It's just too much work, you know. I have no idea until when it will fall out. I don't know if I'm going to lose all my hair or not. I don't know. But just shaving it all off, especially being summer, I was like, that sounds amazing. But then I don't know if I can actually deal with that. I don't think I will do it, honestly. But if anything, maybe I'll cut it a little more. I don't know. This is almost 3 months worth, obviously, since, you know, I haven't seen you guys since then. So it was a little bit shorter, maybe. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to trim it again or what. But that's, I guess, one big change with me personally. Okay, what else? Cut my hair. He's doing good. He went to we're doing his 2-month appointment. Ideally, they want to see your baby gain or be double the weight he was when he was born, which he almost was. He was a couple of ounces under, you know, under his ideal goal, but he's definitely, you know, getting up there. He's doing pretty well. He's still growing, still thriving. Starting to smile a lot more, to focus on actually looking at you kind of thing. And he's also starting to make more noises. I'm hoping he tries to talk sometime soon. And also he has recently discovered his hands and his fingers, so he's, you know, like sucking on the so he likes to kick a lot. He's a kicker, and he has really chubby legs. Also, like I said, he has a full set of hair. Do babies usually lose, like if they're born with hair, do they lose that? I didn't look that up, but I think I have kind of like run across somewhere where it said that they usually lose that hair. I don't know if that's true or not, but he has not been losing that I noticed yet anyway. He's growing really fast. I'm surprised it's already 3 months. Again, it's been very hectic for me, somewhat of a roller coaster ride, just because of all the stuff that's going on. Again, especially the breastfeeding thing was really, and it still sort of is, like a rough topic for me. I don't know where I got it from, that not that anyone told me it had to be this way, but I guess I just assumed that when you have a baby, you breastfeed it. And I just assumed, you know, naturally that is what goes on, but since for me it just didn't work out that way, it was somewhat devastating. It's still, like I said, not a very easy topic, but you know, it's can't really do anything about it. And as long as he's growing and he's getting what he needs, that's what matters, right? So now he's doing pretty good. His next appointment is when he is 4 months. It being summertime, if you guys did not know, this is my yarn room. It's in the second floor of my house, and usually the top floors are the warmer ones during summer. So to keep him more comfortable, we are hanging out in the basements most of the time, which is why I also don't really make videos for you guys, just because it's not the best setup there. The lighting is definitely not the best. There's not much to look at. It's sort of plain, and right now it's just pretty messy, all baby stuff all over the place. and not really something I want to show you guys if you know what I mean. So and also with him, you know, he would get in the way. Well, he wouldn't get in the way. I'm sure you guys won't mind seeing him, but you know, if he starts crying, etc., that wouldn't be the best scene either. Okay, so where I'm really just hanging out in the basement, that's where I've been the last 3 months, honestly. Well, most of the last 3 months. Because when he was born, it was actually still a little cool here. So my bedroom, we set up his crib there. We were there for a couple of weeks. I don't even remember when it started to get hot. But now we're in the basement. I probably will stay down there until it starts getting cooler again, of course. And as far as future plans, yeah, I'm just really excited actually to have him here. It's been a rough, like I said, like a roller coaster ride sometimes. For me, I'm pretty sure for my husband, even for my mom, so she's been here for most of the time. But very happy to have him. He's doing pretty great. Something else that we had to deal with him was that he had a lip and tongue tie, and we had to get that revised at some point, which was actually not that bad. Like the actual act of them doing it was not too bad, but if you guys are not familiar, it's when and I don't know all the actual names for these things, so I'm just gonna explain it to you guys my way. I don't know the terms for everything. So you guys know that you have like a little thing under your tongue that connects your tongue to like your jaw, and that's called a lip tie. I'm sorry, that's called a tongue tie. And the lip one is the little piece of skin that holds your top lip onto your jaw as well. So the issue with him was that he had the little piece of skin in those two places was a lot more pronounced, I guess you can say, as it should be. And the top one, from what I looked into and also spoke with a few doctors about, was that it can cause, whenever his teeth are coming in, it can cause his teeth to have a gap in the middle, as well as interfere maybe with speech whenever he's learning how to speak, on, you know, like how he pronounces things. And the same thing with the tongue tie. It can definitely affect how he talks, how he pronounces, and also that can affect things like, you know, maybe he won't be able to have so much motion with his tongue, and that affects his teeth also. Like when, let's say when you're eating and something gets stuck, you know, in the inside of your cheek, he may not be able to reach back there with his tongue, and in that sense, it can cause more cavities, you know, stuff like that. So we had to get that cut or clipped or whatever it is that you call it. Again, the actual process was not so bad. We went to a dentist who uses some laser stuff to do it, so that wasn't so bad. But after you get it done, at least for us, they told us that we have to do some exercises, which is mainly just putting your finger in his mouth and, you know, going over all the little cut areas so they won't fuse together as they heal. If you guys, you know, because otherwise they're going to be fusing back together. That was the most horrible thing ever. Because, I mean, you can imagine, right? You have a wound, you want to go, you know, somebody goes to touch it and, you know, poke at it, you know, a few times a day. You know, he's crying all the time. That just made me feel so bad. That was probably one of the not the worst thing, but one of the worst things that, you know, we had to deal with. And I don't recommend it to anyone. Honestly, I don't. Do not do it. But at the same time, you know, if you see the pros and cons between, you know, doing the procedure and not doing it, I mean, we did it for a reason. But just the exercises, just the crying daily, you know, for 2 weeks or whatever, that's just sad. That's sad. At least for me it was, because even now, just seeing his little sad face whenever he's about to cry, that just, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see him crying at all. So that was probably one of the saddest parts of it. But other than that, I mean, he's been doing pretty well. Like I said, he's been growing as he should. He's a pretty happy baby. He actually did have a what is it called? Oh, silent reflux between the first and second months. He's grown out of it somewhat now, which is very fortunate. So he doesn't really have this issue anymore, although we're still trying to keep him upright. So with the silent reflux, he would kind of choke, well, you guys know I'm sure you guys know what reflux is. So just imagine that in a baby. It's not, the best scenario. So that was also something we had to deal with. What else can I tell you guys? I mean, 3 months, it sounds like a long time, and it is a pretty long time, but like I said, for me especially, it has passed so fast, and being with him is pretty relaxing, but also tiring at the same time. It's not that being with him, he gets me so tired because he, does so many things. It's not that. It's just having to be paying so much attention all the time. At least that's what I do. I pay attention to him all the time, and that's what tires me out, I think. And I've also have been having issues, although it's been getting a little better for me. I have been having issues with sleeping. Like he doesn't sleep. He can't sleep unless somebody's holding him. So I usually just, in my basement, I have a couple of recliners. I usually just sit on there with him, and until he falls asleep on my chest, and maybe try to take a nap there as well. I know like co-sleeping is a whole other thing about whether you should sleep with your baby or not, whether it be on the bed or or anywhere else, I guess. But that has affected my sleeping a lot, which is why I'm so thankful to my mom. Even my husband has been helping out, taking care of him for a few hours so I can get some rest. Just because having to sleep with him on my chest, it's definitely doable, but personally I'm just not comfortable. Like, I can't get that comfortable on the couch or on the recliner to actually sleep there. So most of the time I would just sit there for hours until he woke up or whatever it may be. And again, it's not that I'm doing all that much, it's just me sitting there, but with him here, I can't do anything else. I've tried doing yarn stuff at the same time, but as you work on your yarn, like whatever your project is, it would hit him as you worked on it, and that won't let him sleep. So I was not able to do that, and I tried. So basically my life, like a typical day with him and me, would be, and we have no schedule right now, so I sleep anytime, he sleeps anytime, he wakes up anytime, we do anything during any time during the day. Doesn't really matter when it is. I eat when I can. So there's no schedule right now, but a typical day would be like I would pick him up and check his diaper, feed him the bottle. If I have to pump, I would usually, if my husband is around or my mom would be around, they would watch it for half an hour while I pumped. If he hasn't eaten yet, then give him to eat. Like I said, change his diaper maybe, and then put him on my chest if he wants to sleep. Sit there for however long he sleeps, like maybe 2-3 hours or whatever. Which in the meantime, I usually just watch TV, or sometimes I'm just browsing on my phone or tablet. And then the process just repeats. Now sometimes in there he does stay awake for maybe like half an hour, or something like that, which is when I like to talk to him. I tell him stories. I also sing to him. We play around. He has little mats, where he can lay it on the floor and then play the little toys while looking up and everything. He has like one of the swing things, so he also likes that sometimes. So it's basically that's my typical day. And the fact that he likes to be held a lot, even when he's awake, and you put him either on his mat or on the swing, even if you know he's not sleeping, sometimes he just wants to be held. So it really doesn't really give me a chance to do much. I've tried the baby carriers, like I have like an actual baby carrier, like it's like a seat you put him in, you know. And also I have like one of those wraps where you wrap yourself around him and yourself. But it's kind of hot for that, honestly. I've tried to use that. It's kind of hot even with the AC on. That would be a way to, you know, have him with you and, you know, be able to use your hand to do other things, which would be awesome. But again, it's just been kind of hot. He actually didn't like the carriers too much, or the wrap thing. I've tried it a couple of times. He didn't like them too much. And again, plus it being hot, I just have not been using them. But if you guys have any suggestions on what I can try, or any suggestions in general with whatever it is I've mentioned story-wise, please share. You know, I definitely would like to hear your experiences or what you guys suggest. But I think that's all for now, guys. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you about my life. Since basically he has been my life for the last few months, I guess as you would expect. I don't know what else to tell you. Obviously, I'm still not working. Again, fortunately, or I'm really fortunate to be able to just stay at home for now, indefinitely until, you know, we see fit. So he will and he is going to be my life for the next 18 years, probably. I don't know when work will come back into the picture. I'm not really sure when yarn stuff will come back into the picture. For those of you who have kids or who remember how your babies were, by what time do they usually have, I guess, by what time do they become more independent, where I would actually have some time either for myself or, you know, just time in general to do other things, even if he's watching. Because like I said, right now, even if he's awake, sometimes he just wants to be held. He doesn't want to be on his mat or, you know, his swings or whatever. So if you guys can tell me any, you know, any details, sort of like the lights, you know, at the end of the tunnel sort of thing, I would appreciate that. And I really think that's it, guys. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I will try to make more videos later on. I do want to make that Malon video coming up, hopefully. And also, again, just about the yarn stuff, I will try to find a way to work on it while I'm with him, because I do have the time. It's just that, you know, the way that you would do the yarn and it would hit him and wake him up, it just doesn't work right now. But if you guys have any tips and ideas for that as well, I definitely want to hear them. You know, definitely share them with me. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.